First of all, before I answer to your question, I would like to tell about Colonel Sapam. In our last debate on Times Now, he lied flatly that no cookies or churches were touched in Imphal Valley. A liar continued to lie even till today. The lady, Zosang Kim, was never involved in any information. When the bullet shot her leg, she couldn't run out from her house. Her husband grabbed three of her children, promising that he will return to take care of her later on. But when he returned, she was not to be found. That means somebody has taken her to a secluded place or whatever in the morning where we know is a charged body of her. When we look at the post-mortem, skull burnt and separated in pieces. Number one. Number two, the brain that looks like her brain was thrown outside the courtyard of her house. The fresh looking brain of a woman whose brain was created by God to look after her children was extracted forcefully, brutally from her body and thrown outside her house. Where on earth did a person commit such kind of crime where Colonel Sapam is protecting? When it comes to poppy cultivation, let me tell you, I don't know about poppy, but our paddy fields continue to burn till today. The harvest is going on. Farmer in buffer zone of a Kuki land cannot harvest their rice. Some of the paddy fields are burned by these nonsense people. Okay, to your point, how will it stop? Remove the person who started this pogrom. Remove the person who started this genocide. Our land that belongs to the Kukis, all the original paper from the British was collected by the state government, and the place where all those paper, the land Jameen ka paper was burned in Imphal office. Number one. Number two, this is a premeditated, pre-planned thought. It doesn't happen. It's not a two-community clash. I can prove this to you. The Kukizo house in Imphal Valley, 100% was marked red before the violence happened in the name of smart city. Survey was already done. And another thing, all the looted arms and weapons are never talked now. Why? Because it's still roaming around. And another thing, why a woman has to keep suffering like this? I appeal to the country that all women should come together. How will this violence stop? Employ and deploy the right men in uniform. Don't put those people who seems to be a part of the continued violence. Don't put those people. Remove the chief minister. And as we are physically separated, let's guard the buffer zone. Who does this separation? Not the Kukizo. It is the Meitei and their militia and the chief minister. Who separated Kukizo? All the Kukizo in Imphal Valley. Nobody is a cultivator. Stop blaming them as poppy cultivator. Nobody is Kuki militant. Nobody has gun in their house. They are either in the government office, ex-DGP, lawyer, doctor, engineer, man in uniform under CISF, Manipur police, government teacher. Everybody in the valley is all chased away like animal. How dare he keep saying poppy cultivator? Nobody in Imphal Valley is a cultivator among the Kukis. And another militant, he keep blaming population. If the village become lesser populated, the town become overpopulated, this means the villages are neglected. We have to come down for education. We have to come down for medical treatment.
Right.
That population is also a lie. And these three things, they keep on repeating in every media talk. Maybe one of the reasons why the violence ceased to die is someone like him who keep fueling the violence.
Gladly will get a response from Colonel Shanti Kumar Sapam. But the point is, you have been emphasizing on removing the chief minister. Do you think that will solve the problem? Is it just one person-driven problem? It's a systemic problem.
Yes. It seems like he cannot run the state. He remains a chief minister of a certain section of people. He cannot run the state. You and I agree. Almost 2 years now. How come a small state in Manipur cannot be curtailed? And that also the violent area is not the entire Manipur. How come the chief minister, who has all the police under him, who can also write to the center government, remain the chief minister and not able to curtain the violence till today, where almost every month we get to hear new incidents? If he was removed from the first time when we shouted last year in Jantar Mantar, all this life that is lost now would have been alive, like you and me talking for them, living life together. Now, I don't know how many more lives has to be at stake. The longer he sits on the throne, he is the most incapable chief minister. I'm so sorry. Not because of anything, just because almost 2 years the violence continue. And these 10 boys, look at the body. It was torture beyond recognition. Eyes were gouged out. Do you believe that army could have done this? I don't believe. Look at the torture. I don't believe so. Amit Alisa will confirm with me. I don't think a man in uniform will go out the dead body eyes. I don't think so. Look at the body, the corpse, how it is mutilated.
But
This is
yes,
something where,
Colonel
where we have to
Colonel
find out who
Colonel
did this.
Sapam, Colonel
Yes.
Sapam, the
Ask Nazar
point that
Ali,
she's,
he is in the.
yeah, yeah, Colonel Sapam, the point that she's trying to make is that the buck ultimately stops at the top, at the chief minister, because he is leading the state. He's the leader of the state, and the state comprises of different people, people from all the communities. But about this encounter, the forces have said that there was an encounter, there was an exchange of fire, and in that, these 10 people were killed. That's to Gladys' point that their eyes were gouged out. The security forces did in fact say that there was an encounter that took place. So please respond to what Glady is saying.
Firstly, as far as the chief minister is concerned, if he is not liked by the other MLAs, the MLAs or the ministers, they will resign. Na? Nobody has resigned. In the Kuki community also, there are two ministers, cabinet ministers, there are two. They have not resigned. They have not left. They have not, as far as the cabinet is concerned, they should resign. They did not. See, what happened is, when I came to media for the first time, my ears, my eyes were in tears. Glady, let me clarify one thing. When we had debate that day, let me tell you, I purposely told lies, and I knew that I would get a chance to speak to you. I said all the churches in the Imphal are intact. I purposely said that because since the time I saw you, you have been lying and lying and lying. And I do not know what is your profession. Probably you could be air hostess because you have been rattling your English so well.
No,
And hats
so,
off to you for that. You have been
Colonel
thinking that.
Sapam,
Let
you
me tell
come
you
to
one
the
thing.
point. You just respond to her questions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come to you. I'll just one thing which I also, as an army officer, I felt little guilty is some churches were destroyed. It was not burned. It was, Tina and all those things were disturbed. Okay. But what happened is on the third May night, 2023, the Shiv temple, the oldest temple in Manipur, at the foothill of Kobru, it was destroyed completely. After I spoke to that day in the debate, I went all around the valley and I took an account. And one of my Tamo also, my brother, Kuki brother also rang me up and I was heard. And I told him, Tamo, I will clarify this. Okay? And I attended one marriage of Inspector Wi-Fi. Inspector Wi-Fi's son's marriage. Church is standing tall and beautiful. There's nothing happening here. It is in the outskirts. 1 minute. It is at the outskirts that some of them are destroyed. And if it is in the valley, most of the churches destroyed were basically at the fringes where the hill starts, and they belong to the Meitei, destroyed by the Kukis. Let me tell you this also. Now, as far as what Glady has said, I have sent Muhammad Saji, please see, Major Muhammad, please see the what you call the postmortem report. I've just sent it to you. The husband of this lady who was killed was accompanied by a constable of the police, a mighty constable, and his name is also given there. Muhammad Saji, please see it and then please say after seeing that. And what happened? The lady was killed by the Meiteis or not? That subsequently all the phone calls and all must be recorded. This will come. Lady, what I'm saying is, see one thing I'll tell you. When Manipur got independence in 1948, the election was done in independent Manipur, and that time the first the first speaker of Manipur was a Kuki chap, Mr. Thiankam, right? And it was under the king of Manipur, and another minister was Mr. Kilong. Two chaps were there, and thereafter the first IS officer of Manipur is also a Kipgen chap, and so many things happened. The biggest Misao gas agency, the biggest agency in Manipur was in Imphal by a Kuki person. The biggest shopping complex in Imphal was again owned by a Kuki person, TN Haukip. the second biggest shopping complex, again owned by a Kuki person, Bazaar. See, as far as the funding you talked about the funding that day, only 10% given in the fields. I got it published in the newspaper so that anybody can challenge. The transparency is there. Let me tell you one thing. Now, as far as the PW work is concerned in Manipur, in 2020-22, 537 crore was given in the hills and 167 crore was given in the valley, and it is 3.2 times more in the hills. And
So,
in 2022, 244 crore were given in the hills and the 66 crore were given in the valley. And 2023-24, 708 crore were given in the hills and 337 were given in the valley. And in, see, it is given almost on the 3 times in the hills.
Colonel Sapam,
Now,
Colonel
one more
Sapam,
thing. Just one more sentence. Allow me, please. One more sentence. It is 3 times, and above that there is another ministry called Hills and Tribal Affairs Minister, and funds have been given separately. And one more thing is also, I don't want to say it. The fact is, in a Kuki community, all the funds are taken by the GB, headman of the village. Major Amit Shah also will agree with me. All the funds are given by the Kuki headman, and if the Kukis are rich, they are very rich, and if they are poor, they are very poor.
The point is, again, the problem is, Colonel Sapam, let me come in. You talked about
he should not blame. She should not blame. That is why I'm saying.
You said that funds are distributed. If the funds are not properly distributed, that's again the buck stops at the government. That the system is so bad that that funds don't reach the people. But coming to the point of this women who was killed, this 35-year-old woman, and these are gut-wrenching details. The way that she was killed and the body was charred. One cannot understand who are these people who are committing such grave, atrocious crimes. Major Dr. Muhammad Ali Shah, we lost you briefly. If you can hear me now, she's a 31-year-old woman who was killed. She was a mother, and the way that she was killed, it's most shocking. But what we are seeing, that this has only brought to light the sharp polarization that's existing in Manipur, rather than this becoming a point where people from both the communities can come together and try and seek justice and try and seek answers and accountability for those criminals, for those perpetrators to be held to task for this atrocious crime. What we are seeing, unfortunately, is that there's a blame game that is going on, and it's not going to help anybody.
Exactly, this blame game is not going to help anybody. Now, just coming back to a small little thing, that since my friend Glady Wi-Fi's profession was brought out, let me tell the viewer that she's a very, very respectable business lady. Her husband, a very respectable aviator. She sent her son to one of the best schools of the country. She made a lot of sacrifices. So I really respect her a lot. Colonel Sapam has spent all his life with the Assam regiment. He's lived his life with Kukis. He's got his best friend were Kukis, in fact. I know this for sure. So again, I'm coming to, it's such a mistrust has happened. Just yesterday, I have this text. I'll not name the doctor from Manipur. So I'll not name the community, but you can well imagine the doctor told me that somebody else came as a patient of a different community. That doctor can be a Meitei Kuki and the other person could be a Meitei Kuki, but different community. So I'll not try to name that, right? There was so much of mistrust that when the mother got to know, or the patient's mother got to know that the doctor is from this particular community, there was mistrust. The mother was shocked, aghast. The mother thought, and this did not happen in Manipur, by the way. This happened, I'll not name the city, it happened outside Manipur. A personal friend of mine, this happened with. So this is the level of mistrust that we have gone to, unfortunately, whereas doctors have taken a pledge that they are going to be unbiased. They will, a patient is a patient. They will treat the patient the way it is. So that is the level of mistrust. Now the Kuki tribe has lost complete confidence in the Chief Minister, Mr. N. Biren Singh. The Meitei community has lost complete faith in the Assam Rifles, where Assam Rifles is led by the Indian Army officers who are very impartial, very just, who will only protect the victims. They will not see who is Meitei, who is Kuki, who is Naga. They will not see that. They will just go. So the Assam Rifles led by the Indian Army officers. So people who cast aspersions, now 2 battalions of the Assam Rifles were sent to Jammu Kashmir. Fine, Jammu Kashmir there was tension over there. The Assam Rifles are troops which are very, very hardy, battle hardened, and they're very good. They're number one, I would call them. So I see it this way. They were selected for a special mission to go abroad, to go up north. Now, Gladdy mentioned that the eyes were plucked out and such things, and then that the army would not do that. Well, I'm sure she didn't mean the army; she meant the security forces, because normally civilians don't know the difference between the security with the CRPF, army, and Assam Rifles. It's like they are meant to be guarding them. Now they are village volunteers who are protecting the land. I think the armed forces the people should have that much of faith in the armed forces, the security forces. When I say armed forces, I mean the security forces, be it the Assam Rifles, be it the army, be it the BSF, be it the CRPF, be it the state police, that they are here to protect us. They will look after us. But so much has gone down the drain that people have lost faith completely. So how do we do that? We get people for a dialogue. The Home Ministry had initiated something about 2 weeks back. The Meitei and the Kukis to sit together and talk over dialogue. I don't know what the outcome was and how fruitful it was, but I would call it a good initiative. But again, the trouble is dialogue is the only way forward, because it's only getting from bad to worse, and the wounds are only getting deeper and deeper. What happened on 7th of November was extremely shocking, and it was bone chilling. It was spine chilling. It was. So now, again, 6 people go missing, out of which a family in June then got displaced. Now, they were staying in Jiribam, along near the police station, near the CRPF camp. They were staying there. 8-month-old baby. Can you imagine an 8-month-old baby? Here we can see 3 women and 3 children gone missing completely, and no one has any clue. No one knows. In fact, some people are saying that there's no confirmation, whether there's confirmation or not. But the news, there's no smoke without fire. A news comes in, which means there must be something to it. That's why the news has come in. How do we get them now back to talk together and shake hands? It's not like school. Okay, guys, don't fight. Come on, shake hands, become friends. Now go home. It's very complex now. It's become so complex that the central government has to take, I'm sure they are taking interest. They will have to take in more interest and ensure Sam, Dham, Dan, Bhed, do what you want. A simple Meitei wants peace. A simple Kuki wants peace. And I see no reason. There was a committee of 51 members, okay, of peace committee last year, which was rejected by the members itself. Why? Because the consent wasn't taken. Where are the interlocutors? They were interlocutors formed for the Assam, right? They were the Alpha problem was going on. Where are the interlocutors? I would ask the government, where are the people who will ensure peace? Who will ensure peace? So it's my advice, just a suggestion to the government to immediately, with immediate effect, consider this to be the first priority. As I explained in the beginning, how important is the Manipur, the state. Last year they had Femna Miss India there. They had an international polo tournament. They had people going all over. I mean, they were going places. Suddenly, what's happened? In 93, there was a Meitei clash between the Pangal and in 94, there was a Naga Kuki clash. In 97, there was an in-house fighting among Kukis. But there's never been a Meitei and Kuki clash ever. Now we are seeing a deadly clash.
Major Shah, I was just trying to understand, if the eyes were gouged, right, and it's alleged that people from one community did that. Now the point is that the security forces say there was an encounter. They were wearing, army fatigues or fatigues of security forces, some sort of a uniform they were wearing when the encounter took place. Why will the security forces take it on to themselves that these 10 people were killed? If they were killed by somebody else, how will that happen?
No, security forces, I'll tell you, they always honor the dead. They always. I mean, they don't believe in mutilating, and unless it's the enemy. Like in 1999, Pakistan did that to our soldiers, to Lieutenant Saurabh Kalia, and the body was mutilated and such thing. But soldiers, we gave Pakistani soldiers are very respected burial from our side. That is the magnanimity of the on the Indian side. And let me tell you one more thing. They are war ethics and ethos, they are war rules, and they are followed strictly by people on their own. My experience, I had seen counter-insurgency operations in Jammu Kashmir and I had seen in the northeast part of India. Now, my experience tells me that in Jammu Kashmir, oh, they are going to be ruthless. They don't care. You are a woman, child, whatever. They don't care. In Manipur, I had seen the underground factions. They used to honor women and children. They never attacked women and children. In their convoys passing by. The fire brigade, the ambulance, the ambulance, the school bus used to go without protection, carefree, because just 2 years back, exactly same day, 2 years back, 3 years back, sorry, there was CEO of Assam Rifles, Commandant Colonel Biplab Tripathi. He, his wife, his son, his small child, and the Jawans, they were killed in action. Unfortunately, the PLA issued later apology later on that they did not know that the family was traveling in that same convoy. Right now, the fact is, I have seen that kind of ethics in Manipur. Now, what's happened now suddenly? What happened? It's someone's sinister design, Zafar Bhai. It cannot be my own people who were so affectionate towards each other, who were living like brothers, and now suddenly this sinister design comes in and fire flares up big time.